Today we're going to look at the linear equations word problems graphs problem set, and this is under linear models. So when we look at these questions here, they're mostly about reading. They're all about reading graphs based on different situations. So let's look through it. Jada sells ground paprika. Her weekly profit in dollars as a function of the amount of paprika she sold that week in kilograms is graphed. So we're talking about a function of the amount of paprika. So all along this x-axis right here is the that's all of the paprika that she sold, and so the function, this function line here, is measuring how much profit she got based on the amount of paprika she sold. So when we look at this at any situation, at any stage during the process, we can see that, well, after she sold 10 kilograms, and it's kilograms from down here, after she sold 10 kilograms, we can look down here and we can see, well, she's still in the hole for $200, right? So obviously she had some upfront costs first of all. So she's got a certain amount that she's got to sell before she starts making a profit. We can even see here after 35 kilograms she finally breaks even. So what we're being asked to find is, well, what's her profit if she sells 60 kilograms of paprika? And all we need to do for this here is look up along the x-axis. So 60 kilograms of paprika is right here, and we're going to trace that right up till we hit our function, and we hit our function right here, and that is at $200. So her profit when she sells 60 kilograms of paprika is $200. So these are not overly challenging questions. Yes, they're word problems, but they're word problems assisted by graphs. So a lot of the time you can get away with just reading the graph. In this case, the battery is charged. The percentage of the battery's capacity that is charged as a function of time in minutes is graphed. So we can tell here, looking at this one here, that at zero time, so at zero time right here, there was 40% of the battery charged. So the battery was not fully discharged when we started charging it. It already had 40% of battery life in it, and it looks like we're getting every 5 minutes we're getting an extra 10% battery life. Okay, so here's our function right here showing it, and what we're going to be asked at this point here is how many percents are added every 6 minutes. Okay, so I just mentioned here that every 5 minutes here, so every 5 minutes we're adding 10%. We're looking for 6, right? So we have a slope here. Remember, our slope is our change in y over the change in x. And that's what we're looking at here. So our change in y over the change in x, in this case here, is 10%. So our slope m is 10% over 5 minutes. Okay, so 10% over 5 minutes is what we're looking at, which, well, we should simplify that. That's 2 over 1, or just simply 2. So what we're saying is every 1 minute, we get 2% of battery life. So since we get 2% of battery life every 1 minute, for 6 minutes, we need to multiply that 2 times 6. So we're going to get 12% of battery life for 6 minutes. Okay, so this is there's multiple parts to do here, and of course this is a nice multiple choice right here, so we can actually select it right down there. Okay, so these are not over the top. If you have any questions with them, please let me know. There are several other videos that can help you with this as well. But in general, it is all about just reading the graph, understand what the question is asking you, slow down and make sure you're reading it and find out. And in most cases here, we're looking at just reading the graph, finding the place on the graph that you actually need. You may have some simple calculations to do, such as slope or y-intercept that we've done before.